Hello, this is Cynthia Sue Larson with RealityShifters.com, and I'm here today to talk to you about sleep learning with lucid dreaming. If you've seen that movie Inception that came out the other year, then you might be aware of the concept in science fiction of planting an idea or a suggestion or obtaining information through dreams in which the dreamer is awake. It's a little bit complicated to get into that story plot, but if you saw that movie and felt a little bit of apprehension about the ethics involved, then I'm right there with you, because obviously it's important when we're working with energy and with acknowledging other people to always allow for free choice with other individuals. But getting back on the subject of lucid dreaming, there is some amazing information that came out of Yale University recently, in which the researchers there found that people benefit tremendously from lucid dreaming in terms of learning activities that they can then succeed at with a much greater track record and much more confidence and success in every measurable form afterward. That part is not terribly surprising for anybody that's ever worked with hypnosis or has had lucid dreams. The thing that I thought was especially interesting about this study is that anybody who had a history of lucid dreaming seemed to be a faster learner in general. And in my personal life, I certainly have found that to be helpful. The fact that sometimes I wake up within dreams, which is what the lucid experience is all about. Lucidity being basically the awareness that when you're in a dream, that is a dream. And then as soon as that awareness becomes manifest in a person, it is easier to start playing with the parameters. I'd like to share with you an example of what I mean from my book, Karen Kimball and the Dreamweaver's Web. And this is a story in which the title character, Karen Kimball, is I'll just read you this passage, but she's just taking a nap. She's just falling asleep. She's climbed into a tree where she likes to be. And it says, Karen felt like she was both wide awake and yet also asleep at the same time. Her body was nestled snugly in the branches of the mulberry tree. And even though her eyes were closed, she could see clouds in the sky and hear a warm summer breeze rustling the mulberry's leaves. She felt the beating of her heart and noticed that the vibrations that had passed through every cell in her body left her with a tingling sensation. Her left hand was still resting inside the tree, rubbing the rounded place where the branch met the trunk. How amazing it is to feel the inside of a book and a tree, and how very peculiar, Karen thought to herself. She gently placed her right hand inside her book and once again felt the varying density and texture of the cover, pages, and bookmark. So if you haven't yet had a lucid dream, then you've got a lot to look forward to, because in those kind of dreams you can fly and be aware that you're in the dream and just exploring. You can just float up above things and bump into the ceiling and rise up and out. And in this book, Karen Kimball and the Dreamweaver's Web, Karen has a lot of fun with that and goes on to solve a mystery. But what I'd like you to think about in this month's issue of Reality Shifters, and also with this video, is to think about how good your life can get when you're aware of the fact that even when you're awake, you might be dreaming. This is actually one of the tips that you can use to have a lucid dream when you're asleep, is just get in the practice of recognizing this might be a dream right now, and find some way that you can identify the fact that you're awake right now, and develop a practice of being more mindful in every moment of your awareness in your life. And to me, this is one of the key aspects to getting into a reality shifting mindset, where you get that fluidity and that conversation and dialogue and fun exchange of energy and the interchange of moving through realities that I talk about so often with reality shifting. So until next time, keep asking how good can it get. This is Cynthia Sue Larson with RealityShifters.com.